everybody doing?
Good. Thank you.
Great. I'm excited about being here this morning. I think I know some of you on the call, some I don't. I'm going to say hello because, an hour would go by so quickly. And we have a lot of valuable information. In fact, when Jodi and I had a conversation yesterday, and she has so many slides, I said, Jodi, we're not going to be able to go over all of the information because we're going to provide you guys with a great overview. Because this is so kind of intricate. So we can kind of give you a broad overview, talk about getting to the revenue. We might have to have subsequent courses to follow up, but Jodi is one of our, we say partners, because at the organization, we cannot do everything, but we can certainly have consultants and other women-owned businesses who work with us, and they provide, services that can be advantageous for your business. So I want to begin by saying hello. My name is Antoinette Ball. If I don't know you, I'm one of the founders of WEOP, the organization, the Women's Entrepreneurial Opportunity Project Incorporated. And you probably are here because you received an email from us, or you probably subscribe to our newsletter. I want to say good morning. Hey, Marquila, how you doing?
Good morning.
Everybody, and to the familiar faces. And I'm really excited about this particular workshop because I too have an online course. So as you know, during pandemic, we all had to kind of pivot to doing things virtually. So having an online course and training and teaching and coaching is kind of an arm to our businesses, because I always tell my entrepreneurs that we are subject matter experts. And as subject matter experts, we have so much information that we can share, not only to other entrepreneurs, but to other businesses, to government agencies, to counties. And that information is so advantageous. So I want to say thank you for being on the call. This session is going to be very interactive. So I'm going to be watching the chat. And I also encourage you guys, as you come on, this is about networking as well. So please, share your name, let us know the name of your company, say hello to everybody, because it's all about interaction. So utilize the chat box, and I'll be monitoring the chat box. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, go ahead and do so. And then I'll stop Jodi and say, hey, Jodi, we have a question, we have a comment in the chat box. So I really encourage you guys to be really interactive. Again, I'm Antoinette, one of the founders of WEOP. We're happy to host this workshop. Happy that Jodi agreed. And Jodi, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. And we are going to, it's 11:04, so we are going to get started. So Jodi, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Well, good morning, everybody. And thank you, Antoinette, for inviting me to join your group today. I'm super excited to be here. We were talking about how I love to teach. I have a 20+ year career history in corporate America in healthcare, where I was responsible for building the relationships that led to the patient flow. Basically, where did the patients end up going for their post-acute rehabilitation services and home care services? And when I decided to leave that industry and venture out on my own, boy, there was a lot to learn. Being an executive does not automatically translate into becoming a successful entrepreneur. And so one of the things that I really love to do is teach how to accelerate some of what we're all trying to accomplish. And digital courses have been growing steadily. And it's time that we all really take a look at how it can enhance our business plan and our business success. So today is really about an overview, as Antoinette said, but it's specific enough that you should be able to utilize this information to make some decisions for yourself. I encourage you to think about your personal business as we're going through, and take some notes about what sort of spurs for ideas in your mind as we're going through, and do feel free to interrupt and let's have some conversation about what's popping up for you so that we can brainstorm together. I love the suggestion of sort of introducing yourself as well as your business as you're sort of reaching out and saying, hey, I'd like to talk a sec. So let's make it very personal and beneficial to you. There'll be a booking link at the end of the session. So everybody is invited to schedule a 30-minute complimentary session with me. So if we don't get to all of your questions, know that you'll have a chance to follow up with us and, have an individual conversation around what might be your next best step.
Jodi, I want to thank you for providing that complimentary session. That's great. So I will certainly take advantage of it. And anybody else on the call, please feel free. Jodi is like a wealth of information.
That's nice. Thank you so much. And just a little comment on how Antoinette and I met. Networking is so critically important. We had a woman that we both knew, and she believed that we would connect in a powerful way. So she put the two of us together, and boom, 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 here we are. So I love having an opportunity to connect with a whole new group of women. And we're going to do the same. So Antoinette can connect with my group as well. So Chichi, I think it was you that mentioned the power of networking. And boy, are you spot on that. So well done.
Well, I think Chichi has a networking called Simple Networking. So that's the name of her business, which is great. She specializes in business networking, diversity and inclusion, and cultural awareness. So Chichi, congratulations on your business.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we have some people who have pivoted since COVID. And so maybe you're less than a year into your business plan. And, the stage of business growth is part of what we're going to talk about today. So be sure to be thinking about what stage you're in as you're thinking about what you can teach, how to price it, how to package it, and we'll go into some of those things today. So I'm going to jump right in if that's okay.
Yes. All right. Let's get started. Let's get started with the show.
Let's do it. Seeing the screen okay?
Yes, we're fine. That's perfect, Jodi.
All right, wonderful. All right, so the e-learning revolution is here. We have literally seen a 900% growth in the e-learning world since the year 2000. And there are many, many, many people jumping into this industry. Folks like Tony Robbins is actually launching a platform and inviting entrepreneurs in to learn how to do e-learning courses. And I have a friend that's in that program. The point is that this is a big opportunity and there are many ways to get involved. I personally like a more individual approach and a smaller network to learn and grow with. So for those of you who resonate with that, I'm with you. So HerQuest is the name of my company, and it really is a unique blend of what I'm expert in. We have all had a life experience till today, and throughout those life experiences, we've become experts in various things. And when you own your own business, you get to call the shots. You get to decide which pieces you enjoy most, blend them together, get a certification if that's appropriate for whatever it is you're involved in, and really create the experiences that you enjoy, monetize that by connecting with others who enjoy the same as you, and grow and expand together. So I love to teach, as I mentioned, as well as build alliances. I think that one of the ways to accelerate business growth is to partner with people in ways where everybody wins. And at the same time, most people have been a part of some sort of an alliance or a cooperative partnership that maybe didn't go so well. So they tend to be a little bit gun shy at giving it another shot. And so I love being a part of helping people select and choose who their aligned partners are. Who can help create a harmonious, cooperative environment to succeed in and create mutual success. And one of the cool ways to do that is with blending curriculum inside an e-learning course. Now, we're not going to go into a huge amount of details on blending products today, products and services, but I want to plant that seed because each and every one of you, as soon as you have your signature course or your founding course, you can easily leverage that in a number of different ways. So just planting a little seed there. Today's overview is really on how to get started. But boy, once you have that first course, you're able to go on and on and on. Then I'll try to open the chat just in case. But Antoinette, as you said, please alert me if there is something that I should be paying attention to in there. All right. So by the end of this workshop, I want to set our intention here. You're going to consider where you stand in the evolution of your business growth. Ask yourself if a digital course is an opportunity to enhance your customer engagement strategy, how you draw people to you, your ideal client, your preferred client to work with, how you draw them to you and create a step-by-step engagement plan. That's your engagement strategy. Always knowing that I'm pulling them, drawing them to me for this interaction, and I know my next step is this interaction. So I'm prepared to offer that at an appropriate time. I like to think of that as an engagement ladder, climbing up the ladder together. The higher you go on the ladder, the more value you're offering to the client, and therefore receiving a higher price point or revenue stream from that interaction. We're going to identify the potential topics you could teach. We're going to consider who you can help transform through your teaching, and consider what specific problem your ideal clients have. So the number one question, would a digital course enhance my business success? And we're going to consider this question now, and we're going to consider it again at the end. So I want you to take a minute and really think through your answer as I read off these questions. Maybe jot down for yourself what your initial impression to the information is, or the question is. And then once we review the details, reconsider the questions and see if they've changed in any way. So the first one is, would you appreciate a way to automatically nurture a relationship with people who are drawn to you, but they don't really know or trust you yet? Now, we know that it takes trust in order for people to buy from us. So having an automatic way to nurture that relationship sort of takes the pressure off with regard to how to get it all done. So would you appreciate that? Secondly, would adding a moderately priced, think about that engagement ladder, low price point, moderate price point, high price point, would adding a moderately priced product that demonstrates your expertise, requires minimal time, yet empowers you to feel more success and satisfaction, would that be of value to you? Third, would you enjoy offering group coaching sessions with clients who consistently show up and engage fully? Clearly, this is a group of women who engage fully. I'm delighted to be here with such a big crowd. And last, would you like to easily receive more customer testimonials as you increase your opportunity to attract more ideal clients? Each person that moves through your course can be invited in to give you a personal testimonial statement, which then you leverage to draw more people who will relate to that testimonial to you. So for now, just jotting down your responses to those questions. There's 3 scenarios I'm going to ask you to consider if you stand in these places. The first, have you created a massive amount of content as you've been trying to explore how to serve your ideal client best? Let me try this, let me try this, let me try this. Sometimes people sort of get caught up in content creation and they don't actually bring it to a paid service or product. And so if you have a massive amount of content, that is, a digital course is a wonderful way to begin to narrow your focus and solve a really specific targeted problem to a very specific audience. We're going to talk more about this. We're just identifying right now, is this you? Secondly, do you have a vision in your mind, but it's not really designed or developed yet? A digital course is a wonderful product to use to grow with because they're easy to refine, they're easy to build upon, easy to duplicate and use in multiple ways, easy to chunk up and take pieces to use in multiple ways. So if you've got a big vision, you have an idea that's not been designed or developed yet, a digital course, a brief digital course is a great way to get started. Doing it in a way that it can be built upon. And then third, we're back to this moderate stage product to depict your expertise. We've got 4 specifics here to define the value to you. One is reaching and serving many with an automated promotion process using a laser focused course. That term, serving one to many, is a way to leverage your time. Being a team of one, as many entrepreneurs are, especially in the beginning, we run out of time. We attract some clients, our time is spent fulfilling them, and we don't have enough time to go get more. That go get more part of the responsibility is a continual need. And so using an automated promotion process tied to your course is a beautiful way to leverage automation and systems and really make the most of your time. A course is a great way to demonstrate your impact because people who are taking the course will have a personal experience with you. They will feel the impact that you can create for them. That's going to stimulate a desire for more. So we're going to talk a little bit about having a next step planned at the close of your course. Third is providing your clients with a step-by-step engagement process to easily say, I want more. That's a little bit about the next step, right? They have a wonderful experience in their first interaction with you throughout your initial course. They get to the end, you bring them through a little evaluation process, and they're concluding as they're going through that measurement of what did they receive. Yeah, I want more from this woman. And last is increasing your price point as the client progresses with you up that engagement ladder. So just make a note for yourself if you were late to any of those 3 scenarios. The big question is, what should I teach, right? Many courses are how-to courses, and they're a great way to get started. They're a wonderful early program to invite people into so that you can demonstrate your expertise, create that impact, and make them want more. But the big question is, what? What do I teach? We want to always be thinking about where do you stand in your business evolution? And we're going to go through a list of potential topics here, all on how to.
Jodi, let me jump in for a second because some people think it gets so complicated. Some people think that you have to have a bulk of information. It may be that what you recommend, maybe people start off with maybe slow, which is maybe a topic that doesn't require a lot of content.
Yes.
So it doesn't stop them because I've talked to some entrepreneurs, they wanted to have all this great content. And that basically kind of stopped them from doing it because they were just so overwhelmed and consumed. Because creating a course is not a joke. So it might be that you start with little chunks of information.
Yes.
That be a strategy, Jodi?
Yes, it would. And as we get into the course structure a little bit, you'll be able to see how planning the structure or organizing the course will help you really determine what is it that you need for content. And it can feel overwhelming in the beginning, but when you use a lesson plan as part of your instructional design, it literally brings you through a series of questions that helps you to refine the structure, the content, and the delivery. It can feel overwhelming, but with the structure, that's the key. We'll get into that a little bit. Did I answer your question okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into this how to. How to choose. when someone is looking for a how to choose course, they have a problem and they want to solve it quickly and efficiently. They don't want a year-long program. They want a quick 30-day fix. And so as you think about your expertise, what you know how to do, you could easily turn that into a how to choose. Brief course. We always want the outcome of the course to highlight you. So if you're a holistic practitioner, you might have a course on how to choose an aligned holistic practitioner, somebody that matches the customer's needs, preferences, the way that they prefer to interact. Maybe there's an engagement before the actual practitioner session, all of those kinds of things. So always be thinking about how you can highlight yourself in the how-to course. Second would be how to avoid. People want to sidestep painful complications. Maybe there's a student, a child, a mom who has a child who's not doing so great in school. And that mom is working, juggling many things. She's feeling guilty because she's not really been putting the time into helping with homework, setting that child up for success. And so this might be a course in how to avoid your child's failing at school, which is actually a reflection of that mom failing too. So sidestepping a painful complication. Every single transaction that people make is an emotional transaction. And there's a whole lot of lessons out there about stimulating pain points to encourage people to buy products and services. I like to sort of find a healthy blend, a healthy mix of stimulating pain, but also really sort of handing a sense of hope. Come join me in this course, and in doing so, giving them a sense of hope that yes, they can help their child and they can help themselves. So avoiding or sidestepping painful complication. All you'd need to think about is, what are my ideal clients' pain points? And you could do a how to avoid course. Third would be how to enhance. This is a customer that's already on their way. Maybe it's a business owner who's got some momentum. They've gotten started, but they want it to be even more satisfying. It might be a business owner who wants to have balance and harmony between how much they work and how much they enjoy life. So how to enhance business success and having personal satisfaction at the same time. How to decrease. How to decrease would be lessening some sort of a demand. How to decrease overwhelm would be a great example. Any of these jumping off the page at you and screaming out, yes, yes, I could do that?
So I want to pose a question to the audience, like from those 4 areas, does anybody have an idea about something that a course that they could create from just those 4 thoughts? Anything jump off? Anybody like to share?
I would say for me, yes. My plan initially when I first started this was to do a course, but I just didn't have the plan in action. So with Jodi, I think I'll be able to formulate that plan. But yes.
Did any of these 4, we have 3 more coming, so if these didn't speak to you, there's 3 more. But did any one of those jump out at you as, oh yeah, I could do that?
How to avoid.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful. Anybody else?
I was
Yes.
thinking,
Oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking how to decrease. And in my case, it could be how to decrease networking anxiety.
Okay, that's a really good one, because a lot of people do have networking anxiety. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do I say? What do I do? How do I approach somebody? All kinds of things. That's beautiful. And see how you tied it to what you already do. So you're supporting your current business plan. We don't really want to go off on yet another tangent. We want to stay tied to what you already have as a focus. That's what you're expert at, right?
And Melissa, share yours.
Thank you. I'm a financial planner. I'm often asked about credit.
Okay.
And so I've had to pull credit into my wheelhouse. I was thinking about how to increase your credit score with 3 easy practical steps. I actually did this on a live maybe about a week ago for another group. It was like a closed group, so I didn't get to share it with other people. And so I thought about doing my own live, but now I'm thinking about doing it as a course. So thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome. And that would sit very easily into a course. And imagine doing a Facebook Live or a podcast to begin to stimulate interest in the course. So now you have a product that you can move people to each time you're out there speaking, networking, whatever it is. You have a call to action that leads to an automated process. So you give them the link, it kicks them off into your automation, and you literally are serving them without really doing a whole lot personally. If you have a course that, blends some coaching in there, that's where you're really building the personal relationship. And we'll get to that in a few minutes, but beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else? All right, let's see the next 3. How to enrich. This customer, they're in a good place. It's an acceptable situation, but they want even better. This is somebody that has momentum underway. They see with their own eyes that they have the ability to change their lives because they've begun doing so. But now they want an even better outcome. How to speed up. This is somebody who's in a hurry. They want the outcome more quickly than they're receiving it. And guess what? Serving urgency is rewarded with a higher price point. You might have a course around speeding up whatever, and part of your signature process is to front load, early offer one-to-one coaching so that they sign up for the course. They get 2 individual sessions with you within the first 2 weeks. You're accelerating their personal learning process. You do an urgency related course, increase the price. How to slow down. During COVID, people were forced to slow down in some situations, and they've sort of felt the pressure be lifted. And they don't want to go back to that crazy, chaotic lifestyle. And so how do they return to the world and the responsibilities that they're signed up for in whatever way, and not get caught up in that hamster wheel again? How can they live life with a pace that is comfortable to them so that they complete the task, they achieve the goal, they take that next step towards their life experience and creating what they want to have? These are all ideas that could be built into a 30-day program or a 4-lesson program. It's not a huge price point. It's not a big commitment of time. And people will have a positive experience, a wonderful outcome, and then want more, right? Anybody jumping out? Any of these jumping out at anybody? Enrich, speed up, or slow down?
I do have 2 comments in the chat room. Keela shared with us that she's doing something regarding business continuity. And also Joy or Jay shared with us that she has a course that falls into how to enhance. So
What?
Keela could jump in for a second, or Jay, that'd be great. Keela, where are you?
Hey, so yeah, hey everyone, I'm Keela Keeler, and I own a company called Universal Salon Suites, where I provide workspace for beauty entrepreneurs. But that role has it put me, that business has put me in a role of having to be a leader in a sense, because I found myself dealing with a lot of individuals who they lack business knowledge, So I'm finding myself having to educate.
Mm.
And I would get frustrated initially, but I had to rechannel that frustration. And I'm like, Keela, help them, help them. So, with that being said, yeah, in the pandemic, I did, that whole pivot word got thrown around a lot. So I'm like, okay, Keela, how do you pivot? And, We Up taught me, we always talk about infopreneurship in all of our We Up courses. And Antoinette was, kind of guiding me on creating a business course. And I started using Teachable.
Yeah.
But anyways, just to your point, business continuity was one of the things that, I focused on. And I simply gathered a lot of that information from, the US SBA and the SBDCs. And I'm taking that information and I'm, just taking it back to my community. But I also get a lot of, I haven't quite figured out how to master monetizing it. That's the uncomfortable part. How do you put a price on? Because I can give knowledge all day long, but putting a price on it is now where people are holding you liable,
Yeah.
So.
We're going to get into pricing a little bit. I'm being cognizant of time. I want to be sure we get through everything. I love the example, and you're you're inviting me to share 2 examples of people who are creating educational programs with me around teaching other people the business side of their expertise.
Yes.
Right? So one is an attorney who is teaching folks how to be teaching established attorneys how to add intellectual property services to their law firm, right? And so she's teaching them how to expand their business. Another one is a surgeon who wants to teach new surgeons how the business side of medicine. They go to school for up to 20 years and nobody teaches them how to run a business. Same thing in the whole beauty industry. People are going to training programs to learn the expertise around those skills.
Yeah.
They do not learn the business side. So I would stretch you a little bit, Keela, and say, once you get your course rolling, you go to the beauty schools and you sell the course to the beauty schools as part of their curriculum.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Perfect.
Somebody else?
I think Jay said something about my course is radically increasing self-confidence through the power of sacred sexuality. So I see that as the how to enhance.
Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. Lots of people interested in enhancing their lives in that way. And, there's going to be a unique person in a particular place in their life that is going to be drawn to that kind of education. And so really it's going to be uncovering what is happening in your ideal client's world to make them realize they can grow and stretch out of their comfort zone in that way. Beautiful. I'm going to keep going now.
Okay, great.
So who is the exact person you can transform? You transform them by raising their awareness, opening their eyes, their mind, their heart, so that they have a new perspective and can see a different possibility for themselves. That's what education is, plain and simple. And so those how-to questions identify the desire for you. Now it's who is the exact person that you can transform with your digital education. And don't get caught up in that, oh, what are my credentials and how can I, what is it that I can do to enhance and da-da-da-da-da. Keep it as simple as how can you raise their awareness so they have a different perspective and can see a different potential for themselves. Begin to make a list of the types of people that your how-to course could help. And we're going to narrow the list as we go through the next couple of slides. So you might have heard people talk about the signature process. Unique Story, unique services tied to your story is what your signature process is. You tie it to your story, it's 100% unique to you. So you may have learned, I said in the beginning, I'm a blend of many different things as my expertise. I learned each of those skill sets from other people, from life experiences, right? I take my story, I attach a how-to that's unique to me. I have a signature process. Nobody else teaches that course. And my story becomes a big part of the promotion. Okay. So I like little mathematical formulas, even though I'm not a math whiz. Your course content becomes the answer to their wish. The problem you solve, the person you serve best, your unique story, your signature process, that equals your ideal client. When you fill your course with your ideal client, their satisfaction rate is going to be through the roof. It's going to be easy for them to say, yes, I want more from that person, because they're aligned with you. They relate to your story. When you're talking about your journey, that's an easy thing to use as promotion. All right, course structure. I tried to keep this pretty simple. Again, we can talk in greater personal detail in your complimentary session. So you may want to make some notes as to what you want to review when we get together. There's always a welcome video. We want this to be a personal relationship, even though you're not live on the other side of that screen. And so you're capturing who you are. What is your story? What can they expect to learn from you? What is required of them for time? We want to engage people deeply in the beginning with a desire for what you are teaching so that they continue to show up. So you're setting the stage and setting the expectation and really stimulating their desire with your story, what you have overcome, key lessons that you have learned, accomplishments that you have achieved. The modules actually segment the learning into chunks. There's usually a sequential learning, a step-by-step learning process. And so those modules hold 2 or 3 lessons regarding each step. 2 to 4 lessons, really. At the end of each module, you want to measure their progress so that people are seeing the progress they're making. Yes, I'm doing this, I'm learning this, I'm getting better, I get it, I can do this, all of those things. But you also want to identify who you're losing, who isn't feeling so confident, who's at risk of stepping away so that you can reach out to them, give them some individual support, which by the way is another price tag, and help them catch up. Help them catch up. Help them get back into the stance of believing they can learn this. Otherwise, they're going to fall into self-sabotage and walk away. And then you don't have a happy customer. You don't have a satisfied customer. So these progress markers are very important. You place one at the end of each module. Lessons, that's where the real direct instruction comes. You want to have learning objectives. What is it they will learn in this one lesson? Then that dictates your direct instruction. It's often a good idea to have 3 key teaching points for each objective. Don't make it any bigger than that, because then it feels overwhelming and complicated, right? You want to give them resources to download, things that they can refer to later on, branded with your brand, adding your contact information on there. making it easy for them to circle back to you and ask a question or reach out for more. You want to give them an assignment in every lesson. It's one thing to hear new information, which might be new knowledge. It's another to apply new information. It's when we apply new knowledge that it becomes a personal experience. When we feel the knowledge create a change in our lives, that's when we create loyalty. You helped me to learn this. I saw that when I applied it. Very important. Most of the platforms give you a way to give an assignment and have them upload it, and then you can see reports easily. Touch of a button. Who's made what progress, how far? You can look at the assignments. You don't have to spend a ton of time on correcting them. It's usually an accept or reject. I hate that word, grade. The reject would be where you offer the support section, where you pull them into a small group discussion. You give them a little bit more to get them through that rough spot. So the progress markers at the end of the modules and the assignments within each lesson are your way to be sure that people are progressing with you without actually being there during the teaching. And then always examples of success. You want your stories to relate to who's in your course. You're usually drawing a similar person to you because it's a similar problem that they're trying to overcome. So you want to weave in interesting stories that overcome the problems associated with the group. And last is course completion. They get to the end. You're reminding them why they bought the course. You're bringing them through what did I learn? What was the value I received? Then you're bringing them through a survey. So you have a couple of different ways to sort of measure their experience and their satisfaction. And you're asking them to give you a customer testimonial. Again, we want this to be automated. You don't want to have to take the time to call every person that was in your course or send them an email and then do a booking link to have a discussion about what value did they get. So we include it in the course and make it an automated piece. I think it was Chi-Chi who said you can do a certificate of completion at the end. You always want to celebrate the successes, right? And then of course, you want to have a next offer. We don't want to serve one time and then have people fall away. It takes too much time and effort to draw a client to you. You want to retain those clients so that they take a next step with you. So you have your next offer ready, and your next offer would enhance the learning that they've started in a brief how-to course. Your next offer would bring them into deeper learning about that same thing or an associated thing. Deeper understanding, deeper value, higher price point.
So Jodi, I want to hop in for 1 second because in the chat box, I had someone state that I want to ask a strategy about how to choose an area to focus on when you come from a background that simultaneously may address all areas. And I think that as you think through this, because you gave us 8 very important points, and then you talk about the course structure. So basically, in creating that course, if you really think through everything that you laid out, then it would give you more of a focus area. But before you do your course, you would have to take the time to thoroughly think through all of this to really think about what kind of course you want to create. So I think that you eloquently answered this question in the previous 3 slides.
Okay. And always that complimentary session, we can go into those personal details. And
Okay.
there's a couple of different ways to take another step with me. We'll go through that at the end, but there's a variety of ways, and it will serve everybody.
Okay.
Serve everybody. So thank you for recapping that for me and for the compliment. I heard that loud and clear. All right. So that automated sales process requires a funnel. Oh, I feel like I'm missing a slide here. Oh well. I wanted to point this out because there's two different, very, very, very different skill sets required to create an automated sales process. And I'm going to assume that most of you have at least heard the word funnel. It includes a number of different steps. We can go into this on your complimentary call. But the two skill sets are the technology side, setting up all your tools so that they integrate and automatically talk to each other. You do not want any of this to be manual. The second is, what is the message inside those pieces? An opt-in, a landing page, an email, whatever it is, along the pathway of the funnel. The message that is compelling enough that they want more, that they will take the one call to action in each step. That progressive step-by-step engagement is depicted in a funnel. It's a digital experience. It's not a live experience. And so the essence of who you are needs to be captured in that marketing message. This is a good thing to talk through with somebody. It's a wonderful thing to use in validation. You always want to validate your message with some of your ideal clients so that you make sure that you're achieving the connection that you're looking for. The key in that is to use their language, not your language. So when you validate with some people that reflect your ideal client, you can check your language. We kind of get caught up in talking about what people need. They don't want to know what they need. They want to know what they want. Right? So this message is critically important so that your automated funnel works. And it's a really good idea to get some support around that and to validate it. Let's talk about revenue. I love this image of all the cash flying down, avalanching down upon me, right? All right, two examples. One is a do-it-yourself model, right? This is a fully automated promotion and a fully automated delivery. This is somebody who is working on their own. They have enough motivation to move through this on their own, enough desire to push them through sort of the rough spots of stretching outside their comfort zone. It takes only a little bit of your time. You want to consider the stage of your relationship with your prospect. If this is a product that you're using to pull people into really the first paid engagement, you want this to be under $100. So you don't want 12 lessons in there, 12 modules. You'll be giving the store away. Keep it simple. Give them enough that they want more and price it accordingly. Always remember that you can do this little secret support offer inside a Done For You course so that if people start to struggle, they click the link and book a session with you. And that's a revenue stream in and of itself. It's catching the people who are at risk of falling off and not completing a do-it-yourself course, supporting them through that angst of whatever kind, and getting them beyond that so that they can continue on their own. Oftentimes, 1 or 2 support sessions will help people get through. They will be so eternally grateful for you, you will have immediate loyalty, and they will buy your next course or your next interaction. It might be a coaching package. Who knows what it is you're going to sell next? It doesn't have to be another course. Could be, but it doesn't have to be. Any questions?
I have a question. So money is tight for a lot of people. And, you know, like I'll even get emails from like SCORE, $25 courses that, you know, you might want to take. Do you have do you use like a catchphrase, or how do you will people in to, making that small investment. I mean, we want to hold on to every penny that we have, so, but, paying for a course or a webinar, that's probably going to be the last thing on somebody's mind. So,
depending upon their circumstances, especially, right?
yeah.
And so the value of what you're teaching is a very personal thing to each individual. The value of what you're teaching will be tied to how their life will change. So go back to your how-tos and identify the value of what is going to change. I use that word transform on purpose. You are transforming people's lives. And when they see an invitation that will get them a shortcut, a path, a solution to what they seek, they will find the $25. The other thing that you can do is, and most digital courses have this, is a guarantee that if they did not get what you promised, not what they expected really, because sometimes expectations are off.
Exactly.
Right? So if they didn't get what you promised, you return their money. There are always ways to ensure that they did their part. Because if somebody buys your course and they do nothing but listen to what you say and they don't apply anything, they're not going to get the outcome that they purchased.
Right.
And so you have to have some structure in there around what is required for them to get the guarantee back, right? And so that's the assignments. That's showing up for the sessions if you're doing coaching. There's a way to be sure that people apply what you're learning so that you're not returning money when they didn't do their part.
Yeah.
But that guarantee takes the pressure off some people. And the truth is, most of us have bought a course and not finished it.
Yeah.
Right? So you have some negative momentum working against you with that. This is a way that you're earning their trust. And so that guarantee is a way to sort of build a bridge to the trust that you're earning through the course. It's asking for money when times are tough is one of the ways that we move through appreciating our own worth. If you're having a hard time asking for money, it has to do with your own sense of worth. I'd be happy to help anybody with that. It could be a private conversation.
Okay. Thank you, Jodi. Now we have, let's check time because we have about 6 minutes. I want to get through some more information. This is so great. I'm really enjoying it. So, okay.
So here's the second option. What you charge when you're offering a digital course and a group coaching package. Now with the group coaching, you sort of have a stronger way to be sure that they're engaged and applying and receiving value. So the coaching package that you define is to move them beyond whatever it is they see as their own limitation, so they receive your full value. Technology is a good example. I'm in a course, it's supposed to be teaching me technology in some sort of way, but I have a belief that I can't learn technology. That is a perceived limitation that is going to sabotage my success in that course. And so the group coaching helps me move through the self-sabotage. I see other people have crazy thinking that's getting in their way in the group sessions. I see people revealing their own vulnerabilities. It is when we own what we're vulnerable about and share it with someone who's trusted that we can move beyond it. That is what group coaching is about. So you ask yourself, you get that ideal client in your mind, and you ask yourself, what services, what package would position them for optimal success and why? that translates to your sales page. How much of your time is required to fulfill? And what is your hourly rate? It's a group package. So if you're serving 10 clients in a group coaching and your hourly rate is $100 an hour, and you want to be really reasonable in your pricing, it's $10 a session. You add it all up. What's the price tag that doesn't feel like too much, but doesn't feel like too little? People unfortunately equate value with a price tag. So sometimes we have to run the risk of coming in with a low price tag, thinking we're going to attract more people, but they see a $9.99 tag and they don't think there's much value in that course because it's too cheap. So where's the magic number for your ideal client? If you're serving an executive in corporate America, that's a very different dollar figure than a single mom who's working 2 jobs and trying to juggle a million things and change her life at the same time. Consider your ideal client. What's not too much, but not too little. Validate, validate, validate. Go to your ideal clients and ask them how they feel about that price tag with the package that you have put together. Trust your gut. We have instinct. We have personal intuition that is guiding us in these decisions. Many of us have been taught not to trust our own gut. Trust yourself. You can always change the price. All right, the digital course payoff. Multiple streams of income with one digital course. We talked about the do-it-yourself model. We talked about the custom support offers being embedded in the do-it-yourself model. We talked about an educational package with a group coaching. That's a higher price point. We talked about charging more when you're addressing urgency. We talked about having a next step. That's another revenue stream. And last, I just want to plant that seed that I mentioned in the beginning. When you can become part of a business alliance with aligned business owners, aligned in core values, aligned in who you serve, and complement each other's service, you can build a course together and jointly promote. Draw in more people, serve more people, receive and give to more people. There's a million different things we could do, but I had to keep this listed at a certain number of things. All right. Oh, here's my funnel slide that I had thought was coming. So how to automate this? A funnel. Think about each of these 5 bullets to see a glimpse of how you help resolve the identified problem, to provide a taste of what it's like interacting with you, to feel the impact of what you achieve because of who you are. This is the differentiator. Nobody else can be you. Therefore, you dispel and eliminate all of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
To personally experience the value of your expertise, like you knew what I needed. And to achieve the intended result of I want more. Mm-hmm. That's the purpose of a funnel. Okay, we're back to the question. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1, the question is, would a digital course enhance my business success? 1, not at all. Doesn't mean never, it just means not right now. 2, somewhat. Book a call, we'll figure it out. I'm optimistic. We'll start with, what are you optimistic about? What is it that spoke to you during this workshop? I'm certain. When you're certain or you're absolutely sure, the conversation is going to be how to get it done. Mm-hmm. HerQuest offers a done-for-you service, custom packages that literally create your course for you. We have a do-it-yourself preparation course, and usually it's time your past history of efficiently making decisions or not, or past challenges with technology. Those are the three things that I use with people to decide whether they should go with a do-it-yourself version or a done-for-you version. And it's not like you're not involved in the done-for-you version, but we do the bulk of the work. You're involved in figuring out what it is you want to teach and pulling out the content that you already have created and working with me one-on-one to create the message and the marketing, the sequence of the lessons, the objective that you'll achieve. Okay? And so how do you get started? There's the booking link. Antoinette's going to put it in the chat, I think. And always.
Jodi, can you put it in the chat? How do you put it in the chat?
Yes, yes. Yes, I will.
And as we wrap up, okay, so here's your information. Where's your email, Jodi, as well? Because I'm also going to send everybody out something that attended this session.
Yep.
So we have your booking and your, okay, here's your information. Jodi, this was great. You gave a lot of information. I want to share with everybody that I've been talking about because I have an online course. So that's why I thought this workshop would be great to just kind of talk. We always talk about infopreneuring, like Keila said, sharing your expertise, being a business professional. So I really enjoyed the session, Jodi. You gave a lot of really valuable information. And I promise you guys, if you really think through everything that we outlined in this particular session, it will help you think through if an online course will be great for you. So here's Jodi's information, the 774-634-5298. And Jodi will keep us abreast in terms of who from We Up connects with her.
Absolutely.
But I love the information. The comments in the chat is thank you, Jodi. Will the slides be shared? Yeah, yes, Latasha's going to put up everything on our YouTube station. Everybody's saying thank you. Great information. So I really enjoyed it. And
wonderful.
And this is just again another stream of income for everybody.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is. And hopefully you see how it fits into the ladder, the engagement ladder of pulling people in early, creating value, and having a next step, and having a next step, and having a next step. At the end is your VIP perfect clients who are really at an elite circle with you. They're the affinity group. We call them the affinity group. I need to find that booking link. So give me 1 second so I can throw it in the chat.
Okay. And I want to say that we're going to end the workshop. However, if you guys want to stay on for a few minutes and get any additional information with Jodi, she'll be available for the next 5 minutes or so.
Yes.
So thank you all. If you have to drop off the call, we want to be cognizant of time.